Welcome to the By the Grid podcast. Coming straight out MOBILE-Al. Had a little technical difficulty, but hey, podcast still must go on. We're not going to stop. Not going to put any brakes on this train. This train always going to keep it smoking. We have a great topic today. I want to give a few shout outs to a couple of businesses at the end. Mr. Jeff Jones at Orange Beach Realty, I'll give him out, and Josh Novak at Amico. We will get to those guys in the end. Got a great topic today. It's bum versus diggers. What it goes into is, are men gold diggers or is it stereotype only women? The topic is bum versus gold diggers. Why do we label men and women differently for the same dating behavior? I know it's a lot to say about that. Great topic come up by the Empress as well. So we're going to dig off to that in a minute. But like I said, I want to continue to thank people for following, and sharing the podcast. We're still growing as followers. Continue to like this pod. Continue to follow. Continue to share it with your family and friends. You know, with your enemies, whoever you can. You know, somebody just walked by, share the podcast. Right now, like I said, we're on Linktree. We're on YouTube, Instagram, and as well as Facebook, as you know. So today we're going to dig off into, are men gold diggers or is just stereotypical that we always say women are. So today we got, of course, as usual, the Empress, and we're going to let her start off on it. So, Miss Solange, what do you think? Are men gold diggers or just stereotypical or is it just women?
Of course, men are gold diggers.
Disagree.
I, it's proven. So, the gold digger term is really like a loose, broad term, right? It can mean a couple of different things. So if we're going to talk about if men marry or date women because of financial reasons. I know back in the day they used to use a term called gigolo, and it's kind of that's the same behavior as what they call calling a female a gold digger.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's a debate that could be had over and over again. Is if that behavior, is it really bad? You know, you can look at it as in so many different ways, different angles to it. Is there something wrong with marrying or dating up levels? I guess it's the reasoning behind it,
Right.
that really determines as to whether that person is being a gold digger or not.
So what you're saying is, we men are going to try to find one that's financially stable.
Some men do, and is it something wrong with it? You can't necessarily say that it's a bad thing if you want to date someone who is in a better financial situation than you are, who has established themselves financially. I don't know if that's necessarily wrong. That's what I'm saying. It's I guess it's the intentions and the reasons behind it is what determines whether you're being a gold digger or whether you're just marrying that person strictly for financial reasons.
Right.
You know, so it's just it's so many things that can go into that and determine whether that person is truly a gold digger. But and I think let's kind of define it, like what a gold digger is.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think that a gold digger is someone who does not have emotional attachment, or is wanting to date that person to, you know, head towards marriage, and just to be a couple. I think it's determined when the it's strictly financial, nothing else. I don't have, because people are good at faking. If it's money involved, I might be good at saying, yeah, I love you. I want to be with you. I'm gonna show you what I need to show you in order to get the money. And it's the same with men. They do it. They do it every day, just like the women do.
Okay, well, I'm gonna chime in on that. You
Okay.
know, I have to agree with you on that point, but do I think there are more women? Of course. If there are men, if they are, we do it kind of secretly. Have I been that person one time before? Yes, but the thing is, like I said, there are no emotions really attached. It's a big scam, because the thing is, we get what we want, but we'll be with someone else who don't even care about us. We'll get that person who's stable. I like I said, I know a lot of friends of mine got bit by gold diggers, and one friend of mine, he was so upset about it. Like I said, I don't call names, y'all. I'm not gonna call the names. I just protect them. But the one was draining him so bad, and he really thought he was in love with him. But she gave him that emotion at the time. But then, someone will see her later in the club with somebody else on his money. So driving his car. So the thing was she a gold digger? Absolutely. All she wanted was she can get out of him. I think what it is, they play on the weak mindset. So nowadays, you can even look on some of these little TikTok things. These women want to find a big car. They want the guy got all this money. They don't care about him. They want to be financial taken care of. And that goes to show you what the women are going after. They want someone who can take care of them, so they can hang out with their homegirls, run the streets and all that. But as long as they got that man to buy them a car, buy them this, buy them, like I say, ain't no emotions attached to it. You just want some. You want the material things, but not the love for it. And you got a lot of these men that fall for that, and a lot of them really want that. But do I think a lot of men do the same thing? Absolutely. I don't say it as much, because you never see it, because all they do is stereotype the women inside that type of persona. They make the women, because you see on the pages, all they do is post the women as gold diggers. So I can't really say, like I said, I did know one friend of mine, God rest his soul. He never worked. All the women took care of him. And I used to tell him, man, what is the secret? Because I mean, to tell you, they took care of him from his clothes to his food, driving their car, getting the money every week. I said, bruh, I thought I was a man, but you must got something magical. Because I mean, to tell you, it wasn't one. It was like 4 or 5 or 6 women that he used to date at separate time, and they took care of him. I used to ride with him, man, to go and get something to eat. Well, he'd go to the job. We want 2 this, 2 this, 2 this, 2 this. What else you want? I said, milkshake, do, do, do. Next thing you know, shit, bring it out to the car. That was at least twice a week. And tell you, and he never worked. So, do I say I knew he was a certified one. Because tell you, they took care of him. But the thing about it is, here's what happened. When a man does it, they call him a bum. They'll call him lazy. They'll call him, hey man, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. When a woman does it, they'll call her a gold digger. But the thing about it is, a lot of men love that. But it's the same. So that's my scenario on it, and that's how I feel about it. Are there men gold diggers? Yes, but a little more discreet. So that's what I'm throwing. I'm gonna let you finish the rest.
The thing about it is that could lead into so many different topics, right? But it's amazing that you say he pretty much every woman that he had did that for him, right? So either he attracted a certain type of woman, or behind the scenes he did everything that woman needed him to do.
That's true. I ain't think about that.
Yeah. So either he was there completely 100% emotionally for her.
So it wasn't a sexual thing.
It could have been a sexual thing,
Yeah.
but we got to look at it. Could have been so many other things. Because if you're saying it was multiple women, it could be that emotionally he was there. Sexually, he did what he was supposed to do. Maybe when she got home from work, he had her dinner ready. her bath drawn ready with bubble baths.
Think
It's a
about
lot
that.
of things. So that is the thing. It's a trade off. Like with us women, being there for us emotionally is worth more than gold. It's worth more than money. Okay? Um, Showing us that softer side of you to where we can be vulnerable and know that I'm in a safe space
Right.
because you're taking care of me mentally, and it could be he could have been a spiritual man, so he could have been all of those things to where it made up for him not being financial. They didn't mind doing it because he was supplying all the other needs. So that's a caveat to it, that people on the outside like you were looking like, why. He could have been an exceptional man in a whole nother different arena, to where he didn't need finances because it made up for that. And so the woman in her mind is saying, well, hey, if I'm gonna come home, I ain't gotta do nothing but go to work, and I come home and I'm completely taken care of in every other aspect. I'm good with it.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's real.
It's kind of, it's hard to like wrap your mind around it. If like strong women who we get out there and we go to work, and a lot of us say, I would never take care of a man. But you know what? It's a lot of women out here taking care of men, and we don't really know what the backstories are
Right.
as to the reasons why. Because
But are they married men, or are they just in a relationship?
we don't know. I've seen it in both. I've seen it in relationships, and I've seen it in marriages, to where the man takes a back seat. Just as being a housewife is a whole job, a man being a house husband is a whole job as well.
But is that the right way? Because
Who says it's the wrong way? But see, that's the thing society wants to put on it, that a man, he's supposed to go and work.
the hero of the family, the
He's
leader.
hero. He's the leader. But everyone's situation is not everyone's situation. So what works better for some couples is not the be all end all for other couples.
Correct.
It's situational, and it's what that couple wants.
You getting some knowledge over here. I like that.
Yeah, so it's just society built a lot of rules for us, and I've seen roles switched. Is it good? Is it bad? To each his own.
Yeah.
But I have seen the roles switch, and even as a young woman, I've seen women who go on to get their education, so that they could get better jobs and everything, and their husband or their partner or spouse is still in the same place. Not saying that they're okay. So they didn't want to go back to school to get a job. They didn't want to go get a trade or anything. They were comfortable in their space that they were in. If it works for that couple, then who are we to judge?
Yeah. I agree with that. I had you gave me your aspect. That kind of opened my eyes on that. But in my day, I was raised that traditional. The man, takes care of the home, leader, and all that. I still do it today. But the thing is, I'm just saying on the aspect of what I hate to see, just in something. If that, like I said, if that man is spiritual behind closed doors and all that, but he's a different person in front of his friends. He makes it seem like, hey, I'm the guy. I'm doing this and doing that. First thing I would think about sex, man, I'm tearing her up. Man, look here. That's why I got doing this. But like I said, behind closed doors, he probably is doing all the mopping and cleaning and all that. My thing is, if me as a man, I don't want to be that person. I want to teach my son to be that person. Reason why? Because if things come down to it, is he gonna be the one to protect that home? Is gonna depend on her to take care of the home. If the bills fail, is he gonna worry about her taking care of them? Because somewhere he got to be somewhere to step up. Now, if he's stepping up to the point, all that, if something fails and or she, get a lack of finances, and he can't step up, I have an issue with that. Cause I saw one day at the gas station, I saw a young man pumping, the woman pumping the gas. I mean, say he's sitting in the car on his phone, laid back.
Yep.
That upset me because ain't no way she gonna be able to pump. Don't get me wrong, he might have been tired from work. I've been tired from work, and Kristen pumped the gas. Okay. Other than that, we're about to go out of town. I was passed out back practically, but still, a lot of times I got it. So the thing is, if she's taking care of him, he can at least do that. Get your butt out and pump the gas. Get your butt out and go pay for the gas, whatever. So the thing is, are we men? We feel this, and I was talking with a lot of guys. We feel we make the woman climb up the wall backwards. Write her name backwards with her hands tied behind her back. You know what I'm saying? So we feel we do that in the bed, we can make them give us everything we want, which a lot of women do that. So that's another way as a gold digger, because the woman gonna bring him everything, and we think we're king of the jungle like that until that woman finds somebody else. Then when do that, then we're ready to kill her. But nowadays it's being taught to the young ladies: get your bag, get your money, get this. You never taught, say, hey, make sure you take care of that man emotionally, take care of him physically, take care of him when she's down, if he's tired from work. That's why a man come home like that and they don't want to cook him nothing, because they've been taught just to get the bag. So the thing is, that's still a gold digger status in a relationship, because you're not really caring about his emotion. You care about him, make sure you bring the money home so you can go spend. If he gets to the point where he can't in the hospital, are you going to be there? Or are you going to worry about how much money you're going to leave me behind? That's the point. If I don't have a dime, that's when I want you in my corner. So, the thing is, but like I said, and I see hear these young ladies talk at work, and especially my other job, I hear them talking. Girl, blah, blah. I heard one young lady walking on the phone by me. I know one thing, he better have my $300 when I get there. But what did you do to get the $300? You see what I mean? It wasn't to the point of, because you said she had to get something done. It went to the point, I don't know how the conversation could have been. I just heard the little snippet I heard. But my mind's thinking all she wants is money. So the thing is, we're not being taught in this generation to, let's take care of each other.
Right.
We're taught, let's get the bag. If that's being taught that way, guess what? I watched a skit on Country Wayne. And I don't know if y'all watch it, and all Lauren was caring about was two men she was playing with, getting her money to help pay for her apartment. She had this big, how do I say, $100,000 apartment. All she was caring about was getting her money. So she was playing two men, and she said, all I care about is the bag. Now, she didn't, and her friends was egging it on. Now, one of them told she was wrong. Hey, I'll be playing a dangerous game. But the other was like, girl, get your money. So the thing is, when he found out she had a real business, he was like, I didn't know it. Because all he was doing was bringing her money all the time. Bringing these expensive purses and all that. And all she was saying, I'm getting money from him, I'm getting money from the other guy. I got to try to pay up, rest of my bills, this and other. But all you was talking about is your money. And guess some of the young girls said, oh, yeah, that's what you do, got to get your money. But do we men do that same thing? Fellas, I don't think we're as big as the gold diggers these women are. Do we have some guys there? Yes. But a lot of women might get mad, but I think more gold diggers are women than men. That's just me. I'm going to pass this buck to you.
Well, I'm not going to argue against that, because, it's been proven. We see it every day. And that's why I was saying I don't know if we have to be kind of careful how we use the gold digger term, because if it's strictly for financial reasons, then yes, maybe you can label them a gold digger. Is it, I want to be involved with or married to someone who is more financially secure or situated than I am, so that we could piggyback on each other and build a life together, that's something different. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can necessarily label that person as a gold digger. That person is saying, I want a better life, so I'm going to marry someone who is more financially secure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. It could be used in different terms. I think male and female side, if it's strictly financial, that's what makes a person a gold digger. If it's strictly financial, you're strictly dating that person because of what they can do for you, and the person that you're dating doesn't even have to have a lot of money,
Right.
or a lot of assets or anything. Like, they may have more than what you have, right? And y'all could simply have the same. But if the main objective is financial, then that's what makes you a gold digger.
Well, let me put a hatchet
In my eyes.
real quick in front of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you made a good point. You said they want to be secure. But if they're secured in love and their emotion, then if you look for that, then you build from the ground up.
Right.
But if you're looking, like I said, get a man that's got a good job, this and the other, you're not thinking about his heart still. Even though you might be a great person,
Right.
you still think about the bag. Because what makes it seem, if he's got all his money, but he get behind closed doors and knock your head against the wall.
Right.
But you got, I can't leave him. Why? We got $500,000 in the bank.
Right.
I can't.
Right.
I ain't
And it
gonna.
happens.
I ain't finna start all over.
Yeah.
Well, man, he got a schedule at 6 o'clock and kick me in the stomach. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta think. I mean, is that worth it?
Right.
You see what I mean? That's why I said you playing with a man's emotions if you're gonna just go out strict for the money. Like I said, are men that same way? Absolutely. We not as much to me, because a lot of men feel they got to go in there and tear the bed up to make that woman give me everything. I talk to them all the time. So that's their persona on the whole thing, to get some out of a woman. Especially they keep run behind. Look at here she gone. I ain't gotta say no. Here she gone. Ha ha. Because they put the ego on the chest. That's our type of gold digging. We don't look for the money thing. We look for the she gonna bring me stuff here. She gonna bring me this. She gonna bring me that. She gonna bring me this. Watch this. Hey, come here and bring some shoes. See, told you. That's our type of gold digging. Woman's type is she want the money. She want her nails done. She wants hair done. She want all this stuff done every week. No excuses. I had one friend of mine said he had to give his wife $2,500 a month for allowance. I was like, whew. I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, so you giving her $500 a week? He said, yeah, but sometimes I have to give a little, just make that. So really it's $2,000, but she want $2,500. So you give her $500 a week, and she working? Yeah. Ain't paying bills? And guess what? Marriage went straight to the toilet. He couldn't understand why. Because you weren't in a marriage, you was in a contract. I mean, seriously. But he thought that giving her that money every week was going to keep that marriage sacred.
Right.
It wasn't. But guess what? When you first started giving to her, she knew right in there, I got it.
Yeah.
Women think the same thing. Good girl. Or that pop, that wop, whatever y'all call it. Give him that. Guess what? I can get everything about him. He goes straight on bananas. But you don't realize he getting emotionally tied. You getting financially tied.
Right.
So, call it what you want. But like I said before, I just think, and you women can see me out in work, whatever, it don't make a difference. I think women are more gold diggers than men.
And let me kind of jump in on that, because I think we see it in two different arenas. When we see it in the arena of the rich and famous, right? The entertainers, the professional athletes. You see that side to where they date women who don't have as much money as they do most of the time. So that element kind of plays into that, if the person that they're with is a gold digger and was actually just with them because of their money, right?
Right.
And 9 out of 10, I ain't gonna say 9 out of 10 times. I'm gonna say a good 7 out of 10 times. That's probably accurate. Because at the end of the day, if you see some of these men, and I'm just being honest, a lot of them you would not date if they were not.
Financial.
Seriously, I'm just being serious. Okay. Because your first attraction is your physical attraction. At the end of the day. Okay, and
So,
a lot of
so
them
what you
are
saying?
not
He was fat and got acne and got
Well,
twisted.
we're
His
talking
braids
about
all
some of
crooked.
the.
And
We're talking
he got
about.
$1 million in the bank,
Yeah,
and you wouldn't take that.
me, would I take
Yeah.
it? No, I wouldn't. But I'm just saying that comes into play.
Yeah.
Because now you see most of the professional athletes or whatever, they only want to date exotic looking women.
Yeah, that's true.
It is what it is. Okay, so now you are who you are. You can pull those type of women. Hey, that's a whole nother conversation and a whole nother different podcast.
And
that
look,
we'll
and
check on.
those men let the women know they got the money.
Yes.
They let them know about their fame,
Yes.
and so they get a gold
they
digger
are.
easily.
Easily.
I get that.
Easily.
I
So
get
let's
that.
let's turn the tables and flip that on everyday life, what we see in everyday life right now with people that we know who are living here in Mobile, living regular lives. You have your your RNs, successful, your school teachers, we can name a lot of different. Okay, so you have a lot of your females who are insurance adjusters, and I'm just naming people who I know, are have the possibility to make a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then you'll look at their husband or their spouse or their partner, and you'll be like, why? But we don't know their backstories. We don't know if
Right.
that person was with her through her journey to where they were both working at Crystals at one point in time together,
Right.
but she elevated herself together. They were still together though.
Right.
So what's she supposed to say when I become an RN? I'm leaving him. He ain't on my level no more. You know what I'm saying? So just in everyday life, we see that, and we wonder like, why they with that person? She's an RN, and he just a old blue collar worker, not making the money that she's making.
But that goes like
So
you said.
is he
emotion.
Is he a gold digger? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you see the difference on the different levels of financial security.
Right.
You know.
Well, I have to chime on that. Like I said, I agree with that. But the thing about it, I just felt if she is an RN, are they in love, or did he say, I'm going with RN because I'm going to make sure I'm getting the bag? So the thing about it is now, if he knew her, she was going to help her go through school, let her study, and all that. I can't call him a gold digger because he was there during her lowest time, during her studying time, during her losing her sleep. And then when she came to RN and started making these six figures, and they built that together, that's the journey they got together.
Right.
Now, if you got a guy coming there, and all he doing is selling frozen cups, and rapping on the corner, and ain't making no money,
Right.
then he see RN, and he feel I'm going there and knock her down, I'm gonna get this RN.
Yeah.
Then if he does that, he's a gold digger.
Yeah.
Because he didn't put an end to her emotion, to her work ethic, or to all the stuff she had to go through to
Yeah,
get there.
journey, right.
He just wants somebody to take care of.
Right.
So, I knew back when we was growing up, we knew a man dated this young lady in the neighborhood. We was like, man, how he get her? He couldn't shoot ball with nothing. But, like you said, every time you saw them, they was close together in the car. They were always holding hands. So he took care of her emotionally, even though her career took off. I'm not, sure what they're doing now. But I think I saw him. He's got another wife. But like you said, that chimes in on the point. Yeah, while we're outside, that we're by the grill. It's by the grill for a reason. That's the term of it. We're swatting flies. But and another, I have to get off gear real quick. My sister, if you was watching the podcast, you know not to call me. That's what. So if you were watching the podcast, you wouldn't call me just then. But like I said, if you building something together, and if he get down his luck, and she's carrying the load, and that's what they built as they tied together in relationship or marriage, and they said we're not gonna leave each other no matter what. Then I can't say that. But like I said, I know a bunch of friends. Man, I want to marry me a doctor or a lawyer, man. I'm telling you, they would go. They wanted to go for those. They never got them. But that was their main goal, because you know why? They wanted to sit back and be taken care of. But like I said, if that man's got a job, she got a way better job, and they're together and they grow things together, I have no issue with that. Like I said, I want to make sure her, like I said, her bath taken care of, food cooked, you know, all the, like I said, the emotions thing to take care of her mind. If she's sick, I'm sick, you know. So if she need a car filled, the gas car be in the tank before she can get up in the morning. That's the type of stuff I get. But if she's doing all this working, if she's a doctor, and he's sitting behind at home, don't clean up, don't cut the grass, don't cook, don't do any of that, he's a gold digger. And you're so he's a gold digger. So, but when these women these days, matter of fact, we went to the New Edition concert, and where Kristen used the bathroom, her young lady say, "Hope he know he gonna give my money back for this concert, and he won't give it to me." He and you know, the next thing you know, she got on the phone, and I guess she was talking to him, and then she walked off, and I mean, she was giving him the business. So me with all her gang of friends around, that was her gold digger buddy, the one she was on the phone with. Couldn't have been a boyfriend, not the way she was talking to him. If it is, he's the weakest thing I ever seen. So the thing is, I mean, she was giving him the business, and she's like, "Nah, I want at least much I spent. I want at least between $800." And she paused. All right. Then next thing they walked, they came back by, they were all giggling. So evidently she got the answer she wanted. Don't know what he said to her, but evidently he agreed to it. So those are the ones that's looking strictly for the bag, because she got a gang of friends around her, and guess what? She's bragging. Like say my friends do, man, look at me, I go in, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna tear the wall down, man, I'm telling you, give me everything I want. And they would do that in front of her. Man, I need this, girl. Yeah. She'd bring the food. That was his gold digging type thing, because he felt, well, I'm the king of the jungle, and you know, hey. And that woman did every time. Like I said, I told that friend of mine, every woman took care of him. I mean, every last one of them. I was just shocked, you know, because I was like, man, I think I'm a decent looking guy. I work out and jog. I got a decent job. What am I doing wrong? But you know, I have done my gold digging thing in the past. I can't say I'm innocent. I'm just making jokes now. Right. And you know, you can't apologize for that, because the years has gone by. You can, but you know, I don't know if it means anything. But yes, I was that type of guy. I ain't give no woman no money. No. You know, that was my thing. But I had to get back when I got older to realize my mom didn't raise that way. You know, and I had to change my ways on that. Right. So it's all according to how you change your mindset, like you said, how they grow together, the communication. But these young ladies these days, all you hear talking about the bag, like I said, with no emotions. And that's you know, you when you see, like I said, now there's nobody get killed. When you see the young man doing these women what they're doing, what really happened on the inside of that household? You know, why he go? But like I said, you got a lot of them, like I said, think they're king in the what's called, and the woman goes a different direction, want to leave, they're ready to kill them. So I just say, don't have the gold digger mindset. Build your relationship. If y'all in the mud, crawl together. That way, when you do make it, if you make more money than him, hey, I ain't mad at you. Right. I'm mad, but we came up together. Don't get up and get enough and then leave me. You know, we did this together. Yeah, you probably make $20,000 more than me. I have no issue with that. At all. That doesn't kill my ego. Right. At all. But guess what? Now I know we can grow even further. So that's just me. That's how I feel. And, you know, like I said, a lot of y'all out there, just watch your back. Especially these gold diggers, you young men. So trust me, you young men watch it. And y'all quit trying to make like you the stud in the room and you can take these women money, which a lot of them giving it to them. So the thing is, raise your daughters better. Raise your men, your sons better. So that's my scenario on it. But I'm going to throw it back to you. And after that, we're going to cut this short today. What you got to say on that?
I mean, I'm in agreement with you. Everybody has to be cautious and mindful of who they decide to get in relationships with. Um, and sometimes you have to take a step back and take the shades and with the tints off and just look at it for what it actually is. If something presents itself as okay, he's only with me because I'm making this type of money, but he's not taking care of me in other ways that I want to be taken care of, then you may just want to say, hey, we're not doing this.
Right.
But also, it takes a special type of person to want to settle for someone who gives them nothing in return.
Correct.
Okay, you doing everything. You're the financial breadwinner. You're taking care of home. You're doing all the cooking. You're taking care of the children. You're taking care of him. You're doing everything. That's absolutely just too much on one person, right?
Correct.
So if he's not giving anything back to the relationship, and you are the breadwinner, it's a problem.
Right.
And men and women have to be strong enough to say that, because, and to be honest, a lot of men and women are driven by the intimacy or the sexual part of it, which is crazy to me, because you ain't gonna get me like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because that's a mental thing.
Correct.
It's mental. You
Physical,
gotta give me more. Yeah, you gotta give me. I ain't never been cooked by no man, and it was just because he was
knocking
doing
the walls.
in the bed. No, you gotta, because any person can do that, and then I might actually be able to go and find somebody who's doing it better than you.
Wow.
Just being honest, it's a lot of men and women who who teach themselves, or they educate themselves how to be real good in the bed. Okay, and it could be for a lot of these reasons that we're talking about. So
Correct.
if they can get that man who has the bag, or that woman who has the bag, I'm just gonna be so dynamic in the bed that they'll never leave me. They're gonna do whatever I want them to do. Right? But to me, my mentality ain't never let me fall for nobody like that.
Correct.
You gotta bring more to the table than just your sex.
Yeah.
For me.
But, and I have to agree with that. And think about it, like I said, I think that's what most gold diggers base it on. I'm gonna get the money, I'm gonna go in there and turn him out. Make him bite his fingernails
Make
from
his head
from the
pop
back
off
of his
his
head.
shoulders.
Make him wipe himself with his feet.
Right.
Stuff like that. And that's like I said, that's what they do. They practice that to do that.
Yes.
And like I says, that's when they become the mental part. And they want that physical thing. That's all the men will look for. The men will look for that. Because sometimes the women will hold out just to give it to them later to go get more money. So you young men out there, you young women out there, hey, you better watch yourselves. So like I said, we just need to raise our kids better. But we're about to wrap this thing up. I got a few things to say about it. I did cook today. I did cook today. I didn't get on the grill, but I made some cream mushroom chicken in the oven. Some baked chicken, cream mushroom chicken soup on one, honey barbecue on the other. Made some mashed potatoes, some sweet peas, cornbread, and some cabbages. Didn't get a chance to bring it out because all these flies are swarming. But did that. Just putting in your mindset might hit up. But didn't get a chance to bring it out. We will have some food out next week. She'll have some great topics next week as well. More guests. So the thing is, like I said, we want to give a shout out to Joshua Novak from Children Road Amco Transmissions. Hey, you need all your auto care needs, go talk to Joshua Novak. His number's right there on the screen. Go check him out. It's on North Shillings Road. And also, we have Jeff Jones out on Bella Beach Properties. You need any needs out there, go to Orange Tree. Hey, this guy's amazing. Check him out. The other way. Check him out. Go, check him out. He can get you rental properties. He gets you locked in for anything you need. Beautiful area over there. Guy got a great spirit. Jeff John had the opportunity to meet him. We're gonna also use him for Christmas this year. So check him out. Go to Bella Property Bella Realty Properties, correct? Bella Beach Realty Properties. Yeah, check out Jeff Jones. What's that phone number there, please? 318. No, what's the on the blue side? What's that phone number? 251 981 2431. So check him out. Give him a call. He will take care of you. Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to Joey too at catering up there in Gulfport, Mississippi. Check Joey out as well. But like I said, until next week, we got another great topic coming next week. Like I said, we're gonna get into some sports. Continue to follow, like, and share. Subscribe on YouTube. Send stars, whatever, every type of monetary thing you want to send. Like I said, we're all on Linktree. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So check us out now, By the Grill Podcast. We're still growing podcast. Right out of MOBILE-AL. For y'all who can't understand that, it's Mobile, Alabama. So keep on following us. Keep on liking this podcast. Like I said, we're coming with the real stuff. We're not candy coating. We bring topics to you that everyday life. And if you want to join this podcast, go to the email and send us your requests on that. We have a phone number coming up soon and the website. So once that comes, you can start calling it, leave a message, and we'll definitely get back with you and get you on the podcast. Get a topic you want us to talk about, you can send that in as well. We have a young lady named Rashawn Dent sent in one, and we're going to use that topic as well and bring her on so she can get on this podcast and express the topic that she brought up. I'll introduce that once we get it started. Mona Nicole, she gave us some last time as well. So we're going to have these people on this podcast and let them express how they feel about the topic they come up with. You got a topic, bring it to us. But like I said, for Miss Solange the Empress, as me as well, when the spatula goes down, podcast is over. Y'all have a good one.